corner, you feel me? It's gonna be the same outcome. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? So I'm like, shit. And I told her, I'm like, you know, I wanted to go off on you, but you wanted me to answer the phone. But I thought to myself, like, when would that get me?
No doubt.
I'm like, shit, because I want to talk to you. You feel me?
Right.
So I'm like, shit, if I would have just blew up on you, you know, so you wouldn't have been answering your phone. You feel me? So I'm like, I was so regular, like, calm myself down. You know what I mean? So I was just like, yeah. And then we talked, though, you feel me? Like, we talked about it. But
Right.
it still don't add up to it, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm like, ain't nothing I can do about it right now. So
that's heavy duty, man. And that's, I mean, you do you realize, like, that's how we get into a lot of confrontation, is that we just fill in the blanks instead of asking the questions. You know, that's what we want to do. We want to get we want to ask questions to get the information, you know. But so often what we do is, like, we just start to, like, allow our minds to go in places that it don't need to be, that's going to wreck our situation. Just think of how many times have something that happened and you done been saying that's what that person is thinking. And you ain't even asked them, man, what are they thinking? No, that's why it's important to ask them, man, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to get done? Like, what are you thinking? Because they're going to be able to tell you best, instead of you just trying to fill in the blanks and saying that's what they thinking. That's crazy. I'm not going to come to a conclusion on you without asking you, right, what it is, you know. So that's what we want to do, man. We want to make sure that we stay in our own heads and not try to get in other people's heads, right? Like, because you don't know why other people is doing what they doing or what they saying. You got to ask the questions.
That overthinking.
Yeah, huh?
Is that considered overthinking, like trying to fill in blanks?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, no, matter of fact, it might be underthinking. Because it's like, because you just like, man, you ain't going the extra step to be able to get a real understanding. And you'll arrive at an understanding that it's not even accurate, you know? And that's when you are in a bad place. Because if you had an understanding that's not accurate, then guess what you're going to do? You're going to make a bad move, man. You're going to blow up. You're going to cut somebody out. You're going to cut somebody off, you know, that you don't need to be cutting off because you didn't get all of the information. So that's something that I'm getting more and more disciplined in. You know, this stuff is a process because we are taught to just look at something and say, this is what it is.
And that's normally what I do too. So
That's what, yeah.
It took a lot for me to just understand myself too, you know what I mean? And then lay out the options. You know, I listened to what she had to say, and it still didn't add up, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I'm like, well, if I still blow up, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, you're not going to answer this phone.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
Instead of me going off and cussing you out about it, you know what I'm saying, I apply pressure, you know what I'm saying, and listen, you know what I mean?
Right.
Even though it still didn't make sense.
Right, no doubt. No doubt. And, I mean, I was just in that situation, man. I mean, I was calling, you know, I was calling my people too, man, and I was like, man, dang, man, like, you ain't answering the phone, you know, like, what the heck? Same situation. And I was like, man, what the heck? You know, like, how come you not answering the phone? You know? And, but, you know, at the end of the day, I just was like, man, you know, hey, when she pulled up and I seen her and she was with her people, I'm like, man, okay, you cool, whatever. But I just like, man, you know, I just went on about my business, man, and just continuing to just move forward. At the end of the day, it's like, man, hey, are we going to move forward or are we not? You know, and I'm going to move forward. So I just looked at it as that. But I didn't want to just jump to the conclusion of anything. So I asked questions. Like, I just asked questions like, what was going on? What's it? Okay, that's what it is. You was faded. Okay, cool. Oh, cool. You ain't see it? Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I said. It's like, I'm going to take what you said as what you said. I ain't about to sit up here and make it something else. Like, if that's what you said, that's what you said. If I can't take what your word is, then guess what? We shouldn't even be together anyway. You know, so if that's what you said, then I'm going to go ahead and move on with it, you know? And that's how I moved on, man. But it's just like trying to stop all of the drama.
It be hard, too. Especially when you know it ain't the truth.
Right.
No, like, I know it ain't
You've been with this woman for years.
What?
And you know, like,
you know what made me so mad is that she took my medicine, you know what I'm saying? And it's for to go to sleep. You feel me? She hit me with the bed. I got off of work and took a shower and I took the pill and I went to sleep. I said, so you got off right when I called you? Like I was calling you right when you got off. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm like that don't make sense. Like, and then on top of that, I'm still calling you. I said, even when you sleep, you still answer the phone.
Right, right.
So I'm like, come on,
especially
man.
yours.
Yeah, like I'm like, man, that it don't add up.
And that's when you just gotta be like, man, you know what? All right, man.
I did,
That's
man.
right.
That hurts though.
Yeah, it do, and it's hard.
You been with this girl, you know.
Right, right.
And then she tried to hit me with, she said that, yeah, she said, yeah, I told you I didn't want to take your medicine when you're not here because it makes me sleep and I don't want to get up. I said, man, you took it before when I was in here and you still answered the phone. So
right.
I'm not understanding what was going on.
Right.
I said, but you know, you got it. I said, I got 14 days left and I'll be home.
Right.
I said, so I'll take care of it then. But, you know, on the phone, I can see the call logs and texts and all that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, I'm gonna play your game.
That stuff don't be no joke, man.
That's how you should just let it go.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's how it be.
Yeah.
That's how it be, man. That's
Yeah.
how it be. Yep, that's how it be. It's just like, man, you know, because it turns into, you know, dang, you feel like an interrogator now.
Yeah,
you know, you feel like an interrogator. You like, man, hold on. Now you said you bought the bottle of beer at 11 o'clock. Like, I bought the bottle. I bought it at 11 o'clock. I bought it at you know you messed up. Hey, you know you done messed up, right? You know you done messed up.
I hate to be called on that.
That stuff be crazy, man. Hey, when you start catching them up, and you be like, now you know, you just said this back then.
I couldn't do nothing but just laugh at the situation because it's like, man, I know, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But why is he lying to me? Like, you don't have to lie to me about that because when I came in here, I'm like, I know you don't do some shit. You know what I'm saying? So what's the fun of you lying? Like,
right.
And then you looking for stuff on my other phone. You know what I'm saying? To try to make it. Make
You know what you doing.
Yeah, to make your wrongs right. You feel me? Like,
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
I'm telling her, I'm like, man, you acting like I got years or something. Like, this is a little 30 days. Like,
Stuff don't be no joke, man.
You know.
It's stuff that try everybody, man.
It was so funny though.
Try your
After
face.
that,
Heck
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? After that, I'm like, you know what? It's not even worth going back and forth about it. You know
Right,
what I'm
no
saying?
doubt.
Anyway, good morning, and how are you doing today?
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
And then now, like, she talked to, cause I'm about to start a dog killer when I get out. Like,
Okay.
I got a dog, you know what I'm saying? Pocket blue, like a brown, it's a blue brown, you know what I mean? Chocolate. So, and then my neighbors, she talked to my neighbors and stuff, so like we locked in when I get out, you know what I mean? Cause they got, that her dog is gray and white, you know what I mean? So it's like, she helped me in the way too, you know what I mean? So it's just a blessing either way. You know?
That's dope. Absolutely. All right, fellas, man, we wrapping it up, man. So today is graduation. I apologize for missing yesterday. You know, I was, man, outside of Richland County on 71 North. Yeah, so I got caught on the side of the highway, man. That dang on Benz, man, broke down on me. I say, man, this stuff is crazy. I'm driving on the highway, man, doing my thing. Everything was going good, too. This one was crazy, because everything was going good. I'm talking about, man, I got my daughter up. You know, I had her clothes ironed the night before, so she had her outfit. I was going to have her ready for daycare, right? My son, he up, ready to rock and roll. I'm going to drop him off to his mom's. I'm going to drop my daughter off to daycare. I was going to get here. I wasn't going to have no kids for the weekend, you know, so I was doing, everything was good, man. I was going to come here, man, spill into y'all brothers, man. I'm on the highway mashing, doing my thing, man. Everything was going accordingly, and I just started hearing some clunking. Clunk, 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 clunk. I'm like, what the heck? Now, mind you, the same thing happened to me a few years ago, man. I was having some troubles with the dang on engine, man. This stuff is crazy, man, with this dang on Benz. And a rod had some had through or something, and it cracked my engine block. Right when I'm driving, and I just heard the stuff just fly out. It was a gear. Matter of fact, a gear snapped in the engine, and it cracked my engine block. I had to get another engine. So I had to get another engine in that Benz. That stuff is crazy. Right. Like, I'm telling you, man. That puppy has been doing me in. I ain't even playing, man. Right. I got that car. It had 19,000 miles on it, man. And I done been just putting miles on that. But I got 160,000 miles on it now, man. But it's just like, so that's what happened a few years back. So I'm hearing that same sound, and when I hear it, I'm like, oh, I know this ain't the engine again, right? And I'm driving, and I hear that clack, 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 and I pull over. It felt like I had ran over something or something. I'm like, what the heck? So I turn off the car immediately because I'm thinking it was the engine or something. And I go outside, I've lifted the hood, looked up under the engine, it was nothing going on. And then I turn the car back on, I try to put it back in drive, and I heard it again, like, clack, 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 clack. It was just seeming like something is going on with the driving. Like, I don't know if it's that's what I was thinking. Was it the transmission?
I had a Ford Escape, you know what I mean? And me and my mom and my baby mom and all the kids went camping. And I tried to put it, it was a hill, you know what I mean? And I saw it going up the hill, and it did the same thing, but it like, I couldn't go in reverse after I parked it, you know what I mean? So it was a tragedy.
So that's what, I mean, we're going to,
you know, so I don't know.
That's what somebody said. So the mechanic said, because I had to have it towed, so I was out there just chilling on the side of the highway, man. And the lady who was on the phone that day, the director, she came and picked me up, man. So she had to come pick me up because the tow truck wouldn't let me ride with him. So she had to come pick me up, took me back to Columbus. I went to the mechanics and whatever, and I got a rental yesterday. So I got me a rental for the weekend, man. Right. So it's just like, so I just had to figure some stuff out, man. I'm like, dang. But they gonna tell me what it is. They haven't put it up in the air yet. So I gotta wait for them to put it up in the air to see what it is. But they said it could be like a drive shaft. They said axle, you know, they saying all of these different things, man. But if it's drive shaft axle, that'll be a little bit more pleasant than the dang on transmission, man. Because I already know, man, what they gonna be hitting for with that transmission. So it's just like, so I'm just hoping that it's like something like that, you know, that we can, you know, when you thinking about these businesses, and that's what I tell people, it's like, man, it's bigger than just people be like, man, yeah, man, I'm gonna get it for like, you know, 30,000 or something like that, and it's a Benz, and it's like, man, brother, you don't pay on the front end, you gonna pay on the back end, and that's just what it is, man. You gonna pay on the maintenance, man. I done put over $10,000, $15,000 worth of repairs in that car, easily, probably 20. You know, so if you don't pay on the front end when you get the car, you're going to pay on the back end. Just make sure that, like, don't just get it because it's a Benz. Like, make sure that you can, like, maintain it, because that's where the money is going to be spent at. You don't want to get something and it's going to be sitting, you know, and then you making payments on something that's sitting. Right, so you want to make sure that you can maintain it, man. But yeah, so that's what was going on with me yesterday, man. And I was like, dang, this is crazy, man. I'm gonna miss class. I'm like, this stuff is cold-blooded, man. I don't like to miss, man.
What we said.
Right.
Dang, we missed class.
That stuff crazy, man.
Miles was up and
I was up too.
Man.
I set up. I had it ready for you.
Yeah, he had the DVD in.
Stuff crazy, man. And the way that my mind worked, right, I'm still trying to make it work, right? I'm like, man, I wonder if the tow truck can take me to the class. Like, that's crazy, man. Like, it don't make no sense for my mind to work like that, man. But I'm like, man, I gotta get to the class. Like, man, like, car crazy. I'm like, man, I gotta figure out a way to get to the class. And then I called my case manager, and she had something to do, and I'm like, dang, man, like, I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna have to go ahead and tap out, man. Like, I gotta tap out, man. I'm like, sheesh, man. And I had just went back and got the stuff situated, and I say, man, I'm gonna have to just, man, get a rental car and be here, man, today, you know. So I'm like, sheesh. But it was hard, man. I'm telling you, it ain't no joke, man. I don't like missing. You know, I don't like canceling because it's something just about a commitment, man, for me, man. You commit to your commitments. That means that if you committed to it, then you commit to that. You know, commit to your commitments, man. And I take that stuff serious. And this is not something, man, y'all, this is me. This is me telling me that, right? It's me saying that. Because y'all like, man, okay, it's cool, I understand. But me, I'm like still trying to get it done. Right? You know how you can be like doing like this and people be like, man, you know, that's cool, you good. But you know you can do a little bit better. Yeah. That's what gets me. When I know I can do a little bit better and I don't, that's when I have a problem. I don't like I don't like just move according to other people. I move according to myself. Right? Like, I hold this over myself, and that's what's going to be your challenge. It's going to be you, because it's nobody else going to be around but you. It's going to be an inside job. It's always going to be an inside job. When you tell your children you're going to do something, you will be able to get away with it, and your children will be able, will even understand it, but you know that you actually could have done it, and you don't do it. That's when you should be checking yourself. You know, when you can do and you don't, then that's when you should be like, man, hold up. Why am I not? That's what it's all about. This is an inside job, man. You know, so that's what it's all about. But that's what I say is just like, man, I just be pushing myself. You know, I continue to raise my levels because this is all about you. It starts within. It starts within. It starts with us. You know, if we're going to be that father that we need to be, it's going to take us, man, being real with ourselves, you know, not being real according to somebody else's eyes. You see what I'm saying? It's like, because the stuff that goes on, other people might not know. And I'm always challenged like that. And it's those decisions that we make. And it's not just with my children, it's with life in general. I was going to pick up a guy who was in the class, and this is exactly what happened. I left here. This was last weekend. I left here and I go pick him up from the class. Now, you know, I had did this a little bit longer than I was supposed to as far as the time was concerned, because I had the other class, so I went overtime. So I was in a jam. But I went to go pick him up because he's in the class and he ain't had no ride. So I said, I'm going to pick him up for the children's service class after this, right? And I'm going to be honest, when I go to his house, I beat the horn. Boom, boom, right? And he ain't come out. So what did I do, fellas? No, I pulled off because I was tired for real, and I'm like, so I justified it in my mind. Like, man, I beat the horn, I'm gonna pull off, man. Like, this is what it is. Like, man, at the end of the day, man, I beat the horn. I put the address in my GPS. I came to his house, and he ain't come out. Cool, I'm going on to class, right? This is what I'm telling myself. And plus, I was a little bit under the weather. Y'all didn't know, but I was under the weather. Y'all see my nose was running, right? Like, I was under the weather, man. Like, so I'm like, man, hey, man, I'm tired, man. Like, shit, I done came to the brother's house and he ain't come out, man, I'm gone, right? Kid you not, fellas. I get to the stop sign, and when I get to the stop sign, I was checked internally. Nobody's in the car with me. It's just me. Nobody knows but me, right? So I'm like, man, you know what? Like, dang, man, I could have knocked on the door, because what if he didn't know that I was outside beeping for him? What if he could have thought I was beeping for somebody else? So I said, man, you know what? I say, man, I got to go ahead and go back and knock on this man's door. Like, because that's what I should do. If I'm going to really say that I'm serious, right? Like, I'm not just coming to pick him up just to say I picked him up or try. Like, I'm really trying to pick the brother up. So I say, man, so I backed up. No kidding, man. I backed up, put it in reverse, and I just, man, I did it on the Sunny from Bronx Tale, backing up like this. I backed up like that. Boom. Got back to the house. I pulled up in the driveway, and I rang the doorbell a few times. The brother ain't come out. because he had already made it there though. He had got another ride.
Okay.
But I said to myself that, man, hey, I held myself to that standard. Don't allow other people to hold you to a standard. You hold yourself to a standard. That means that what I do is based on me. I'm not doing what I do because of what you do. Because if you do something shady and then I do something shady because of what you do, then that makes me shady. And I'm going to get the same consequences that you got coming. I keep my form. I hold myself to my standards. That means I'm going to give you what I got. I'm not going to give you based on what you giving me. Because you might give me something like this. And if I go ahead and go down to that level, then I might start to go ahead and operate at that level. I keep my level what it is. You keep your standards what they are. You set them. Don't allow other people to set your standards. You come to the conclusion on what your standard is going to be, and then you stay at that standard. And that's going to be the issue, because a lot of times you have you ever heard of people say, man, like, man, you know what, hey, man, that's the energy. You want to come with that energy, I'm gonna come with that same energy.
Yeah.
Nah, man, like if you come in with a negative energy, I'm gonna stay in my positive energy. Because if I come with that negative energy to match your energy, then that means it's going to be negative for me. I'm going to stay in the energy that I'm in. That's the challenge, fellas. Because it's like, man, hey, hold up. I'm going to go ahead and give you what you giving me. No, I'm not going to give you what you giving me. I'm going to give you what I got to give, period. It doesn't change up. It's not about to change up because of what you doing. Because I'm not you. I done set my standards. I've already agreed to what I'm going to put out there. And if I'm putting it out there, it's because I said that it was right to put out there. That's next level. That's what gets us in the places in life that we want to be, for real. When we keep our form. But when we morph into what the environment is and what everybody else is doing, and we do that stuff, man, we lose our shape. We don't want to lose our shape, fellas. And especially with this fatherhood piece, man. My daughter, she like the other day, she was just, man, tripping. And I'm like, man, dang, what the heck? She just crying. And I'm like, man, I'm not about to sit up here and match her energy and get to, flaring up on her because she's having a bad morning, right? So I'm not about to have a bad morning right along with her. So what I chose to do is just like let her go in and have her space. And this stuff is no joke. Because it's like, man, what the heck is you even crying for? And what it came out is that she just wanted to, man, put on her, she wanted to put on a different outfit. She ain't like the outfit that I picked out. And she ain't said that until it was time for us to go. But I didn't get into, like, threatening her and, man, you about to get a whooping. I'm telling you, this was about to happen. What's wrong with you? I didn't flare up on her. And because I didn't, when she finally did come to and say, I just want a different outfit, I said, man, go ahead and get you another outfit. Then you got 5 minutes. Let me iron it real quick and we go ahead and get on out of here and get you to daycare. It was cool. And when I got her to daycare, guess what she did? Hey, Dad, give me a hug. Everything was smooth, right? Because this stuff, I'm telling you, like, it's so easy to fall into that space to where you sitting up here beefing with your children. It's easy to fall into that space because you'll get to saying in your head, you're trying to play me like, oh, you crying? Oh, I'm going to give you something to cry for. You want to cry for nothing? It's like whatever they crying for whatever it is that is important to them at that time. Like they feel in the way that they feel. And you just got to give them that time, that space. And that's what I did. I gave her that time, that space. And guess what, man? We was able to have a productive morning after that. That's the challenge, man. That's what this parenting piece is all about, man. It's just about, man, going at it from a thinking place and what? Protecting that positive, strong relationship that we want to have with them so we can be influential in their lives. And when we're talking about a positive, strong relationship, what does that look like, fellas?
A relationship without barriers.
A relationship without barriers. Absolutely right. And what are we trying to do? Transfer information. What do we get from a strong, positive relationship? Influence, right? We get that influence. So that's what it's all about. So that's why we put in the work. That's why we discipline with this strong, positive relationship, because we want to have influence. We want to be able to transfer information. We are focused on that. That is our responsibility in our leadership role with our children. I say leadership because we are leaders of our children. You have been given the leadership role when you have had a child. How are you going to be as a leader? You've been given the power. What are you going to do with the power? That's the question. So with the power, what do? We establish a strong, positive relationship. That's what it's all about, fellas. And that's what we've been covering this whole entire time, peeling back these layers into establishing a strong, positive relationship. When we talk about what type of father that we want to deliver to our children, how do we come up with that, right? What do? We reflect. We look at the positive, we duplicate the positive, and we give that same positive interaction that happened to us when we were children, we give that to our children. Right? We identify the negative and then we resist the negative. That means we ain't gonna give our children that same negative interactions that we received when we were children. We are not going to give our children that. Why? Because we know it to be poison. And if it was poison for us and it made us sick, then it's going to be poison for our children. It's going to make them sick. So we say that, man, you know what? If I felt like, man, my childhood was unstable, because my parents weren't there, I was in different foster homes or whatever, I didn't know who was going to take care of me. Guess what I'm going to do as a father? I'm going to make sure that I give my children stability. That means that I'm there. I'm creating a home that they know is going to be there. I'm going to pay the bills. I'm going to make sure the lights is on. I'm going to make sure the water is on. I'm going to offer them stability. I'm going to make sure the food is in the refrigerator. I'm going to do things to offer them stability because I didn't have that stability when I was a child. I want my children to have stability that I didn't have. I'm going to resist the negative.
Yes.
That's deep.
Yes.
And we got to be focused on that. If we're not focused on that, it won't get done. This is what it's all about. We got to be focused on getting that done. Literally. Because we can say we want to do it and all day long, but if we're not focused on it, it won't get done. That means that when I'm making my decisions, when I'm moving in a way that's going to make sure that I am offering my children stability. That means my decisions offering my children stability. I focus on that. People are like, man, well, why you go? Well, the things that I do is because I'm saying that, man, I want to be here for my children. Why do you think I work out? I work out in the gym. It looks like I'm on the dang on Browns, like I'm preparing for football. I'm running sprints and everything. Why? Because I'm 43 years old and I got to make sure my blood pressure is where it needs to be because they said my blood pressure was high. So I got to start to monitor my lifestyle. So I'm changing the way that I'm living because why? I want to be here for my children. So I got to make sure I'm eating grapefruit. Do you think I like grapefruit? I'm drinking grapefruit juice and things like that. Why? Because I'm taking care of my health. Why? Because I want to be here for my children. Like, this is facts. I go to spots and I'm like, man, hold up. I'm not about to be there. Because I see what can happen if I'm continuing to be here. I get out of places when it's looking too risky for me. Why? Because I don't want to be in a situation where I got to bang somebody in the head or somebody bang me in the head. So I say, man, you know what? I'm not about to even try it. I see where it can go, where it's a possibility of going. So I remove myself from that situation. I remove myself from that place. This is what we got to do. Because if I don't, then that situation can cause me not to be where I want to be, which is there for my children. This is what made me stop selling dope. Like, because I said, how can I sell dope and I'm going to be incarcerated for years on top of years? Nobody wins selling dope. They don't even make the movies where you win in selling dope. So I mean, literally, they show you, you will not win. Nobody wins in selling dope. Either you're going to get killed or you're going to get locked up for a lot of time, right? They don't even, what movie have somebody been selling dope and they have won? Scarface gets killed at the end of the movie, right? Who won? Paid in full. All of them, just like hard stuff didn't happen throughout their life when they were selling dope. Nobody wins in selling dope. So if I said that, man, you know what, I want to be there for my children, it didn't make sense for me to continue to be out there in the streets selling dope. Because if I'm selling dope and I'm moving in the streets like that, then how can I really take care of my children? How can I be there for my children when I'm putting myself in a facility somewhere? Because I'm leaving them exposed to the environment. This is reality. I'm leaving them exposed to the environment, and nobody is making me leave them exposed to the environment. I am leaving them exposed to the environment because of my decisions that I am making. So how can I make decisions in a way that's going to put me in the places that I want to be, that fits me? Don't fit somebody else's, but fit me. If I say that this is what I want, then I gotta do what's necessary to go ahead and get that done. And then when you get it done, it feels so much better. When you can literally say, man, you know what? Man, movie night. That movie night was banging Thursday. We watched, what did we watch? Hold on. What did we watch? Man, what did we watch for movie night on Thursday? It was something, but they love that stuff. You know, they love it. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it's about. It's like, for me, it's like, man, yeah, heck yeah. And I do the movie night every single Thursday. So making those commitments. If I'm doing movie night, I'm not in the streets. I'm not doing something that I shouldn't be doing, right? So I make that commitment to do movie night every single week, because that's the type of father that I want to deliver to my children. I'm focused on that. And because I'm focused on that, it gets done. So what we focus on in life, man, it grows in our life. So we got to ask ourselves, what are we focused on? When we focus on the things that's going to serve us the best, then that's when we see a life in the way that we want to see it. But it's our decisions to make. It's not about can we do it. It's not even about should we do it. Will we do it? Will you do it? That's all it's about. Will you do it? Will you do what is necessary? And when that will you do it, what is necessary is a yes, then it's going to get done. That's what it's about. So, fellas, man, what we looking at today is, and we gotta cover some content, right? So today, with the next layer that we're gonna peel back for establishing a strong, positive relationship for today is democracy at home. Now, with democracy at home, this is another layer into establishing a strong, positive relationship with our children, because it makes our children feel like that they are valuable, and it's also developing them into the individuals that we want them to be. This is going to be something that might be different than what we are used to, but that's what it's all about, is doing some things differently, right? If it makes sense. So, democracy at home is saying that every voice in the household is heard, giving your children a voice. Imagine that. How do you feel when you are given a voice? You feel good, don't you? Don't you feel like a certain type of way if you in a situation and you don't have no say-so in it? You like, man, I don't like you who is taking away my voice, right? Like, so when somebody gives you a voice, like when you look at these facilities, they might not give you a voice. They might say, you know what, you don't have no voice. You do what I say. This is what it is. I don't want to hear your opinions, right? And you're like, dang, I ain't got no opinion? You mean to tell me it's something that happens when somebody is given a voice and it just helps with the overall environment and the relationship, right? So then that's what we want to do. We want to give our children a voice, democracy at home. So what does that look like? So when we thinking about democracy at home and giving our children a voice, it's just saying that, man, you know what? Hey, in this household, you got say so on what happens with you. This is your life. So you got say so on what happens in your life, right? So I'm going to give you an example. My son, he says that, man, you know what, Dad, man, I think that my curfew should be, not my curfew, but my bedtime should be at 9:30 now. It shouldn't be at 8 o'clock no more. And I say 9:30, right? And I say, okay, this is what giving him a voice means. I'm going to give him the opportunity to tell me why his bedtime should be at 9:30. And I'm going to say, man, you know what, son? This is what we going to do. Hey, meet me tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the living room, and you tell me exactly why your bedtime should be at 9:30. It's at 8 o'clock right now because I believe that it should be at 8 o'clock. But if you think that it should be at 9:30, then you tell me why it should be at 9:30. What do you think is going to happen from that time until it's time for him to go ahead and present to me why his bedtime should be at 9:30? What you think is going to happen with him?
He's going to be thinking about all the reasons why it should be 9:30.
No doubt. So he's going to come with all of the reasons why it should be 9:30 because he wants to give a good argument, right? He wants to present a good case. So when he comes back to me the next day, he's going to come correct. What am I doing? Remember, everything that we are doing with our children, we are developing our children to be a certain type of way, right? We want them to be in a way that they're going to be successful. And one thing that I know about life is that you don't really get what you are paid, what you are worth, right? You don't get what you are worth. You get what you are, you get what you can negotiate. So negotiation is like big with just the way that you are going to be able to get the things in life that you want. You got to have the ability to be able to negotiate. So I want my children to have the ability to be able to negotiate. So what is he going to do when he comes back to me? He's going to come with his reasoning on why his bedtime should be at 9:30. So when he comes to me, this is exactly what happens. He says, you know what, Dad? Hey, listen, man, Dad, man, hey, I'm getting up on my own. You know, I'm doing that on my own. I'm making it to school on time. You know, I'm like, you right. I'm getting in the shower on my own. I'm washing up now. I'm using the soap. Remember, I wasn't using the soap, Dad? Now I'm using the soap. I'm getting that done too. So I'm processing what he's saying when he's telling me this stuff. He's like, man, I'm doing reading buddies. I did reading buddies and I raised my reading level up to where I should be at. It was below reading level. I was below grade level. Now I'm at grade level because I've been doing reading buddies. I've been doing that on my own too. You know, he's like, these are all reasons why my bedtime should be at 9:30. And then he said, man, you know what, Dad? Not only that, but guess what, man? My show comes on at 8:30 and it goes off at 9. And then I also want to be able to play the game for a little bit too as well before I go to sleep. So then this is why I want my bedtime to be 9:30. So when he's telling me these things, right, this is a real conversation. I'm letting him know that I am there and I'm listening what he is saying. How am I letting him know that I am listening to what he's saying?
Facial expressions, eye contact.
Wow. You self-regulated. No doubt. Most definitely. Nod my head and everything. So I'm letting him know that I am listening to what he is saying, right? So he understands that he is being heard. This is making him feel good that he is getting out what's inside of him. So I'm saying, man, okay, no doubt. Okay, son, no doubt. I'm summarizing what he's saying. Like, son, you're right. You was getting up on your own. You have been getting up on your own. No doubt. Self-regulated, right? I'm not taking over the conversation. I'm just listening to what he's saying and the reasoning on why his bedtime should be at 9:30, right? Just giving him that space. This stuff is powerful, man. I'm not even playing. What it does to that individual, how he feels about himself. It's crazy, right? So he said, yeah, Dad, and I said, okay, cool. So when I come back with what I'm gonna do, I say, man, son, this is what it is. Man, your bedtime is gonna be at 9 o'clock. I'm gonna go ahead and bump it up from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. It ain't gonna be to 9:30, it's gonna be to 9 o'clock. Because 9:30 is just a little bit too late, and I wanna be able to bump it up as you get older. So I don't wanna bump it up a whole hour and a half. So let's start with this hour, and you can still go ahead and watch your show at 8:30, and at 9 o'clock, just go ahead and lay it on down, man. You know what I'm saying? How do you think that he felt after I gave him that judgment?
You gotta say so.
He felt like
Absolutely.
he had to say so, right.
Absolutely. And he was able to see the needle move. So he said that, man, what I brought to the table, it caused the needle to move. So he was able to see some type of good result, a positive result. And he's like, man, okay. He's saying, okay, I can take that 9 o'clock. I can take that 9 o'clock. It's better than the 8 o'clock that I had just had. So now I got 9 o'clock. And now what he's starting to say to himself is that, man, you know what? I feel good about telling somebody what I believe that I should have. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just getting him to feel good about telling people about what he believes that he should have. How important is that in life?
Very important. Lifetime, man. Yeah.
That can go a long way, can't it?
Yeah.
Because I don't want somebody to try to figure out what I want. I want them to know what I want, and then they make the decision not to give it to me, right? Like, if I'm in a relationship, I'm going to let you know what I want. I don't want you to have to go ahead and fumble and figure that stuff out. I'm going to let you know exactly what it is that I expect, what I want. And if you say that, man, you know what, I'm not willing to do that, that's fine. It's somebody that will be willing to do that. I'm not about to force nobody to do nothing, period.
Right.
I'm going to articulate what's inside of me so I can get what I believe that I should have. How can you get what you believe that you should have if you ain't able to articulate that stuff? People be in bad relationships because people because they in a relationship and people doing things that they don't want done. But you can't tell them what it is that you want. You can't articulate what it is that you want. And because you can't articulate what it is that you want, it's difficult for you to be able to get it. I want to be able to say, you know, this is what I want, this is what it is. Vice versa. I ask my partner, what it is that you want. What you want out of me. What you want. I need to know what you want. People don't even know what they want. They don't even know what they want. Or they're not confident in articulating what it is that they want. And if you're not confident in articulating what it is that you want, then how can I just go ahead and magically figure that stuff out? You want to make the job harder on me? Just tell me so I can go ahead and do that stuff. Or I can say, I'm not about to do that. You might as well not even look for me to do that. I'm going to go ahead and save you some time. I'm not going to do that. So now, how are we going to go? Look how this is responsible relationships, right? How are we going to go forward from here? Are you okay with me not doing that? No?
No.
Okay, so then that means that we are not a match. Because I'm not going to be what you want me to be. I'm going to be who I am. Either you want it or you don't. It is your responsibility to get the information on who I am. And once you get the information on who I am, now you can say, man, is it a match? Will it work? The worst thing that we can do is trying to force people to be something that we want them to be instead of accepting people for who the heck that they are. I'm not getting with you because just like, man, hey, I think that you can be this. I want you to be this. It's like, no, I'm going to be okay with where you at, and then we're going to continue to grow. But we be trying to manipulate people, man, and say, man, I want to put you in this position. I want to put you in this place. Instead of just saying, man, no, this is who you are, understanding who people are, and just working with the people that's in front of you, instead of some idea of who you think that, that they should be. That's what makes people frustrated. I want you to be like, I want you to be romantic. I tell my people, like, I tell my girl, like, man, I'm not about to be no person that's, man, walking and looking at the sunset and stuff like that. That doesn't move me. I'm just saying, though, I look at a sunset, it's just a sunset. I don't look at the sunset and get teary-eyed. It's some people that do look at the sunset and get teary-eyed. If that is a determining factor for you, then you looking at me is not a good move. I move differently. I stand on different things. So this is one thing that we want to do, is we want to get our children to be adults who have the ability to be able to articulate what's inside of them. So when we give them a voice inside of the household, when they get older, they will be confident in the voice that they have because they have been taught to speak their mind. We want to give them the ability to speak their minds when they are in the household. So when they get older, they saying, hold up, I'm in a bad relationship. I want this. I don't expect this to be given to me, right? If they in the company and they jobs, hey, I expect this. This is what I have to offer to the company. They have the confidence in speaking their minds because they've been raised up in that way. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Like, these are things that we can do intentionally. The reason why we don't be so confident in speaking our minds is because we never got a chance to speak our minds when we were children. And we was just developed in that way. Shut up. You just a kid. Shut up. Well, you ain't got nothing to say in this situation. I pay the bills. I put food on the table. I put clothes on your back. You can't ask me nothing. You do what I say do. These rules in this household, they there. That's a dictatorship. And it develops us in a certain type of way to where we like, man, hey, I ain't got nothing to, I can't say nothing. And that's how we get stuff in life that we don't really want to have because we ain't got the ability to be able to articulate to somebody what it is that we want. When we can't do that, it's going to put us in a bad place. So we don't want our children to be like that. This is what democracy at the home, it does. It gives them the ability to be confident in their voice. So that's why we want to do that stuff intentionally. And it can be with small things, just letting them know. Now, I don't have to say, man, you know, your bedtime is going to be raised up. I'm just going to take your action, because sometimes they come with stuff that's like, man, ain't no way. But I'm going to still give them the floor to be able to explain why they think that. And when I come back and say, no, that's not going to happen, I got a reason for why it's not going to happen. Right? This is what I'm doing inside of the household. This is democracy at the household, in the household. What this does is that it gives them that confidence, but it also gives them a certain level of respect towards you, because they like, you don't have to really give me a voice, and you giving me a voice by choice. You have the power to squash my voice. You pay for everything. So when you do that, I feel a certain type of way about you, right? It strengthens the relationship. So now the next thing is what? Harmony in the household. How do we create a harmonious environment? Right? So a harmonious environment, that means that I don't want my environment to be a war zone. How can I do this intentionally with my children? I want it to be harmonious. Okay, good. So the first thing that we got to do is we want to participate in the task that we asked them to do. What is that? Man, hey, brushing your teeth. Instead of telling my 5-year-old to go ahead and brush their teeth, Do you think that she's going to get that done if I tell her to go in the bathroom and brush her teeth? Right now, she's in a place where she doesn't want to brush her teeth. Right? I'm just telling you where it's at. So, if I say go brush her teeth and then I go off and do my thing and I'm getting dressed and everything else and then I come back and she hasn't brushed her teeth, how am I going to feel? Because we running late, right? So now how am I going to feel?
Rush.
I'm going to feel slighted. I'm going to feel disrespected. And what is that going to cause me to do a lot of times?
Get angry.
I'm going to get angry, right? I'm going to say, man, what the heck is wrong with you? Like you think it's a game. And this is how we get to hollering and stuff like that, right? So instead of setting myself up, this is what I call it. I just say I would be setting myself up if I would just tell her to go ahead and brush her teeth. Because what she's going to do, she's not going to brush them, and then I'm going to have to elevate in my demeanor, and I'm going to have to be some, right? So instead of setting myself up, what do? I just go ahead and say, man, let's brush our teeth. Participate with my children in the task that we are asking them to do and turn it into a game. So now what I do with brushing the teeth is I say, man, hey, I bet you I can brush my teeth faster than you brush yours. And guess how she responds to that?
Oh, it's on.
No, you can't.
Right.
I bet you I'll beat you, Dad. I'll be like, I bet you won't. I kid you not, right? So she's like, man, I'm gonna get it done, right? So she's like, I'm like, man, I got you. And I let her win every single morning. Why? Because when she wins, I win. She enjoys winning. So it's like, I got you. You know what I'm saying? So I turn it into a game. Now it's fun. It's funner than just her going and doing a task as brushing her teeth. Now it's a game in her beating Dad. I turn it into a game. So now guess what happens? I get her teeth brushed and I don't have to holler to get her teeth brushed. I'm creating an harmonious environment. These are things that I can do intentionally. Instead of trying to dominate our children. You gonna do what I said do. Because I'm trying to protect a relationship, right? So if I'm gonna protect a relationship, I gotta make sure that I keep the environment harmonious. And with kids, they just like to play, man. So you gotta turn this stuff into a game. And when you turn it into a game, now they respond to it in a different way. This is the work that we got to put in. Is it going to take a little bit extra? Yeah. Is it worth it? Heck yeah. Because you don't want life for them to be, you don't want their childhood to be like, man, Dad just hollered the whole entire childhood. He just screamed at me, right? You want it to be like, man, hey, I had fun in my childhood. So yeah, she gets her teeth brushed, and she's having fun while doing it. It's a win situation. Because I'm still getting out of the house at the time that I need to get out of the house. I got videos on Instagram. You'll see the videos. And it's just me and her just brushing our teeth. You'll see the stuff. The stuff is hilarious, man. You know? And you can see it in me too. And I got to really be telling myself like, man, come on. Because I got to tell myself to go ahead and be patient and do this stuff, right? But sometimes I'll be like, dang, man, jeez, man, I don't want to sit up here and play. Like, I want to you just brush your teeth. But I do the stuff because I don't want her to be hollered at by me. So that's one thing that we can do, is turn it into a game. Even if we talking about clean something up. Like, hey, you clean up your room. Instead of me telling her to clean up her room, guess what happens? I say, we gonna clean up your room. And when I say we clean up your room, she's like, come on, let's do it, Dad. It's totally different than me telling her to go clean it up. Because it never gets clean when I say you go clean it. But when I go in there and clean it with her, hey, Dad, take that. Hey, Dad, do this. Hey, Dad, hey, can we go ahead and get the mop? No doubt. Let me get the broom. Okay, no doubt, right? It changes the game. These are things that we can apply into our parenting. It takes it to happen up here in our minds, right? That creates the harmony inside of the household with our children. We want our children to look at us and be like, man, you know what? Dad had the power, but he didn't abuse his power. Game changing, right? Game changing. So yeah, so then that's harmony in the household. And another thing that we want to do is we want to give them the ability to make choices, right? What vegetable do you want to eat? Green beans, corn, or spinach, right? What do you want to eat for dinner tonight? Give them the ability to be able to make choices, and then go ahead and honor their choices that they have made. You see what I'm saying? Because when you have the ability to make a choice, it makes you feel better about the situation. So we give our children the ability to make choices. Dinner, vegetables. Also, ask them to participate in things that, man, go ahead and set the table today. They love to participate with the chicken. I'll be cooking the chicken. I'll be like, man, okay, come on, let's cook the chicken. My daughter, she says, man, you know what, hey, I'm going to go ahead and put the chicken in the flour, in the bag. Now, do you know how long it takes her to put that dang on chicken in the bag? One piece. But I'll go ahead and go through it though. Because she's really excited about helping out. So I'm like, man, all right, come on. And she got the chicken, she like this. I'm like, come on, like, drop the chicken. She's trying to get it right in the center of the bag. And I'm like, man, we got like 15 more pieces of chicken to do. And you like this, like, but I'm really working with her, allowing her to do that because she says that I want to help out, Dad. I don't want to knock her from helping out. I want to go ahead and capitalize on her desire to help out. Because when you have the ability to help out in a situation, it just makes you feel more better about the situation. When you bring in something, it just makes you feel more better about the situation. When you know something and you give somebody information, it makes you feel better about that, right? So that's just our spirit. Like when we are in giving mode, we feel better. That's the way that we've been set up. It's just the way that it is. So when my daughter wants to help out with the chicken and cook, and she wants to put the chicken in the flour, I'm like, come on. I can say, man, you know what? If I do it myself, it'll be done a lot faster. I'm tired. I would rather just do it myself. Nah, I let her help. Because with her helping, it makes her feel better about the household. It's more difficult for you to tear down something that you help build. So if she has helped build the positive environment, it's going to be more difficult for her to tear it down. But I let her participate in building this harmonious environment. Right? That's what it is, fellas. So yeah, so we give them the ability to help out. We give them the ability to make choices. All of these things is creating a harmonious environment. Now, the next layer that we want to peel back is positive co-parenting. How do you feel about your children's mothers? Let me hear it, fellas.
I mean, I don't think she's bad, but she's just saying a lot different.
Yeah, I feel you.
I don't knock her for being a mother. Like she said that all the time when I talked to her here. I asked her why don't you take my daughter to the hospital yet? I overheard she got upper respiratory infection. You know what I mean? So I'm like, why didn't she go? You know what I'm saying? And arguments and all that. I'm like,
right.
She's like, well, you take care of it. I said I would if I was there.
Right.
You know what I mean? I said I'm not there though. So how can I do anything? You know. It's not always a back and forth between me and my baby mom, but she immediately thinks that I call her a bad mother. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I have to go and bring it down. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. But you can do better. You know what I mean? I understand you got stuff to do, but you know, whatever the case, but our daughter's more important than whatever you do. You know what I mean?
Right. How important is it to have a good, strong relationship with the mother of your children?
Very.
Important.
Is it very important?
Yeah.
Why you say that?
I feel like, because see, y'all was once close, you know, and then y'all, it seemed like you get even closer when you heard it, but it just ain't a good look for you to be bad mouthing the brother of your child in front of your child. You know what I'm saying?
What can I do with your child as far as your child is
have
concerned?
going side to side with it. You know, okay, you ain't gonna say it, but daddy might say that. You know what I'm saying? You say no, daddy might say yes.
Oh.
My thing is, if she say no, don't come to me. You can't come to me.
No doubt. No doubt.
I'll be like,
no doubt.
Oh, what did your mama say?
Every time.
What did your mama say?
Absolutely.
What did your mama say? So, well, I'm with your mama.
No
we
doubt.
Can be at each other's necks, but when it comes to parenting, that's something totally different. We on each other's side. If I can't, because I'll tell you like this, she been acting up, and I had to discipline her.
Right.
She runs something. I said, your mother can't save you. Your mother said, just like you, right there. Did not move. You understand? And I'm like, come here. You're going to have to get this in. We got to get this in. You're going to listen to me.
No doubt.
You know, you trying to run? No. Mama can't save you. Just like if she whooping you, don't run to me because she's disciplining you.
No doubt.
You understand? That's just how I feel about it.
That's good.
Man, it took a while, but I told her when she was young though. I started that when she was like 4 or 5, when she was, you know, started to comprehend. I'm like, baby, look, if she say you can't have these cookies, you can't have them.
Right.
Do not come to me asking me for no cookies.
And they will do that too.
Yes. They hurry up, because you know daddy gonna say yeah to everything.
Everything.
Because what is their main objective? To get whatever they want to get.
Right.
Yeah.
And children, what they want, it might not be the best thing for them, right? Because the kids will say, like my daughter, she'll want, man, dang on candy and all of that stuff and don't want no dinner. Like, and then in her mind, like that's the best thing for her. It's up to us as parents to make sure that they are getting done right, right? We can't leave them up to raising them, right? And this is what can happen when the parents aren't on the same page, right? Because if the child sees that it's a crack in the foundation, the child will exploit that stuff. They will say, hold up, I know that mom and dad is beefing, and mom is trying to outdo dad, dad is trying to outdo mom, so I'm going to use that to my benefit. What I'm going to do is say, hey, dad, I'm going to sit up here and say that she won't do this. And you're going to be like, I'm going to show you, I'm going to do that. And then she going to go to the mom and be like, dad say that, you know, he won't do this. And mom is going to be like, I'm going to show you, I'm going to do this, right? And what happens with the direction of that child? Over the cliff, right? Over the cliff. Because the leadership is off. If it's dysfunction at the top, guess what it's going to look at the bottom? Dysfunction. If the vice president is going at the president of the company, right, how do you think that company is going to stand? The product is going to be terrible because it's not no proper leadership. So I always tell fathers, and I was just talking to one of my dudes, man, and he was telling me everything that was wrong with his child's mother. And I say, man, I don't want to hear everything that's wrong with her. You just got to understand that you got to establish a strong relationship with her so you can effectively parent your children. Because if you are fighting with the mother of your children, then you don't have the time to be able to parent your children. And not only that, but when you are bad-mouthing the mother of your children in front of your children, man, that is half of your children. Your children are half of your mother, the mother of their children. So when you saying that the mom ain't nothing, then you basically saying, man, half of you, child, ain't nothing.
I make that a point not to do it.
I mean, you know, that's your mother. And your mother created you, helped create you. So when I'm sitting up here telling you and telling my child that, man, your mom ain't nothing, you basically telling your child half of you is nothing. The half of you that was made up by your mom, that was contributed to you by your mom, is nothing. This is reality. So that's why we got to really think about that. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's important. And not only that, but not giving our children like adult things to try to process. Like, why do we give our children adult things to try to process this that got to do with us, with me and the mom? She's 5, 6 years old. Man, go ask your mom. I'm paying her child support. I'm paying her child support. Like, a 6-year-old don't know about no dang on child support. A 6-year-old don't know about no child support. Why are you giving that type of information to a child? They can't process that information. Save the adult conversations for the adult. The children should only be concerned with children conversations, that is in regard to them. But sometimes as adults, when we beefing with the co-parent, we telling the child about what the co-parent is doing. Oh, she's cheating. She's messing with such and such. This is what she's doing. And this is why this, you know what your mom is doing? Your mom is getting high. Like, man, why are you telling that? Like, how can the child process that information at that age?
That's crazy. My kids do that. Like, to me, they'll tell everything that I'm doing to their mama, or, you know, whoever on their side of the family. They won't tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? I don't ask for it.
Right.
It's just like, Dad, you tell it on me for what? You know what I'm saying?
Like, I was being asked for this.
Yeah, it's hard to ask.
Right. Because, and that's how they've been being raised up, right? Like, that's what it is that they think that this is information that's for them. So now they are tapping into information that's not even for them. Like, grown-up stuff. And they trying to tell grown-up stuff. And they shouldn't, right? But that's probably because, like, their mom probably will be asking.
Yeah, no, I'm hit. My baby mom, it's funny as hell, for real. Cause it was me and my baby mom was going at it or whatever, but like we was pretty much getting into it about money. You know what I'm saying? But it was like who had more money than who. You know what I mean? And my kids dwell on that now. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause they know their dad will get some money. You know what I mean? And they'll happily say it to anybody. Like, I don't care who you are. My kids don't have to know you. And she'll come up to you, whatever. As soon as they hear something about money, they'll you know what I'm saying? They'll click, like, yeah, my daddy gets some money. He'll give me some money.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
Stuff like that. And then, like, so, like, with that being said, because my baby mom had sent me a video of, cause she's a nurse aide, you know what I mean? And just like you know, I was selling dope and shit, but I'm getting done with that when I get out here, you know what I mean?
No doubt, no doubt.
She said like it was a video of her money, you know what I'm saying, laid out. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, 'cause I like to flex, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
I'm on Facebook with all, you know, I got bands of money, like, you know what I'm saying?
doubt.
So she said that, she said, yeah, and I got a job. This is from a job, you know what I mean? And I'm not gonna fake it was hundreds spread out, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And she's like, yeah, your baby mom ain't broke. I said, so you, and now that you say that, I'm like, damn, so you installing in our kids, like, money is more important. You know what I mean? Right. Like I ain't gonna fake, to me, before all this, like, before I came here, money was so important to me. It was
That's
so important
crazy.
to me because, like, I never had nothing growing up, you know what I mean? Just like, bro, in and out of foster home, all that, you know what I mean? So it's like, I never really had structure, you feel me?
Right.
So I was dwelling on the streets and people that was into that type of stuff, you know what I mean? So it's like, and then now, like, that stuff, my son, he's 3 years old, you know what I mean? And that's why, now I'm thinking like, damn, you hit deep, man, like, you hit freaking deep as hell. You know
No doubt.
My son looked up to me, you know what I mean? So
right.
like, I bought him well, I ain't buy it. My friend I bought, you know, the little, like water, like not airsoft, but it's like,
BB.
no, it's the water pellets.
Paintball.
No, it's water pellets. Yeah, it's like you put them in the water and they grow and you put them in this little gun thing or whatever.
Okay.
So, okay. So, and then I listen to a lot of music, you know what I'm saying, rap. So my son took the gun, right? And then, so I'll be dancing and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? My son took the gun, and I ain't gonna lie, I do have a couple guns, but when they come, I try to put them up, you know what I mean?
Right.
So he grabbed his gun, and off the, you know, it's like, yeah, he see it, but mostly from the TV and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like, so he grabbing the gun, like, jamming out, like, you know what I'm saying? And
Wow.
I'm trying to tell him, like, bro, that ain't it, like, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm, like, that ain't it, brother,
Wow.
like, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, though, like, so it's just, like, that's really why I'm taking this class now. I'm trying to use it to my advantage so I can change myself and get my son away from the streets, because that's honestly why I was doing it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
To keep him away from that, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
That be the mindset, man. And I think that a lot of times people think that, man, when we be in the streets or we be doing what we be doing, we don't have our children's interest at heart, right? It be there, it's just that we be doing the wrong stuff. And when we sit down and think about it and we say, hold up, is what I'm doing really going to put them in the best place, right? And then once we can answer that as a no, now we can change up what we doing. But it's not like you will rarely see a father that just be like, man, you know what? I don't care what happens to my children. They might say it, but they still don't mean that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I promise you, man, my daughter brags about the money and my son brags about the guns.
And that's one of the things
and
that...
It's like, bro, like, he almost slipped up in front of my PO and said,
Wow.
my daddy got a gun.
Wow.
Because he seeked the gun on the dude's hip, you know what I mean? And I was so scared, bro. I was so scared because that changed my process of thinking too.
That's heavy.
You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, bro, I gotta stop having guns around my kids. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
It's not even that I wanted to have them, but it was just stuff in my life that was going on. You know what I'm saying?
That was warranted.
I had to, you know what I mean? But
right.
It's, man, it ain't worth it, man. Like, now I think about it, bro, it ain't worth it.
Man, I ain't had a gun since 19 years old, brother. I haven't even held a gun since 19. That stuff crazy. But you know what else too? And this is, I'm talking about, this is just, I'm just telling you, man, just where I've been at. I'm 43 years old. I haven't held a gun since I was 19 years old. I haven't seen no crack since I was 19. Now, I seen marijuana, but I haven't seen no crack since I was 19. That's crazy to say that. I haven't seen no crack since I was 19. That's crazy.
That's a blessing, though.
And the reason why is because I just haven't been around it. I mean, I've intentionally not been around it, because I say, man, if I'm around it, then I might start to asking for prices, and then once I start to get the prices, I might start to try to finagle my way back into the game that I was in, right? So I say, man, I don't even want to. When I came home, I'm like, man, I don't want to see no crack. Because I don't need to be back into that movement again. I don't know no prices. I don't know that stuff. I've intentionally removed myself from that stuff, man. Why? Because I don't want to be tempted. See, a lot of times we be thinking that we're going to be able to just overcome the influence, but I'm telling you, that's when we'll fall, man. So the best thing that I can do is just, man, not be around it. I don't want to be around that stuff, because when I get around it, and then like child support, they wiped out my bank account when I was home. When I first came home, they wiped out my bank account. If I would have knew prices and I would have been around crack and stuff like that, I would have been like, okay, you wipe out my bank account, I'm about to get it like this. I'm about to go ahead and get it going, right? Like, but because I didn't have that access, I said, man, I'm gonna give me some more overtime at my job. Like, these are things that we can do, man, to be able to get us to where we need to be. This is bigger than just fatherhood. This is how do we be able to get ourselves in a place in life that we want to be. It's bigger than fatherhood. It's about us being men. and putting ourselves in places that we want to be. So our children can look at us and be like, man, that's my dad. And that's how I'm going to do life, like my dad does life. He's literally designing his life. My hands is all on my life, man. I said, man, I don't want other people's hands on my life, man, because when other people's hands be on my life, they shape it in a way that I don't want it to be shaped. No, I don't want to do count time. No, I don't want to sit up here and eat at the chow hall. No, I don't want to eat when you tell me to eat. I don't want your hands on my life. Because people put their hands on your life, man, they going to say, man, yeah, you don't need to see your children right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I want my hands. Your life is meant for your hands. But if you like this, guess what? This is what I tell people all the time. It's going to be some hands on your life. It will be some hands on your life. Period. You got to make the decision whose hands is going to be on your life. When you say, I'm putting my hands behind my back, you are saying, go ahead. Go ahead and manage my life. Keep your hands all on my life. Because it's going to be some hands on your life. So you rather it be your hands on your life than anybody else's hands on your life. Right?
Yeah.
That's heavy. Hey, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, go on vacations. When you need to go on vacations and stuff like that, you just live life in a totally different way, right? You know what I watched yesterday? CB4. And I felt good watching CB4. MC Gusto. I'm sitting up there watching MC Gusto. I'm kicking up in my recliner like this, watching MC Gusto, right? Like, stuff crazy, man. Like, my hands is on my life. It's the simple things that make me go. When you get your hands on your life, you can get the simple things that make life so good. That's what it's about, man. That's why I've intentionally not been around crack. Because crack puts me in a position to have somebody else's hands on my life. And I don't like that. I've seen how it felt. 10 years, that stuff crazy, man. 10 years, that stuff crazy. Seeing them calendars flip. Year after year after year. Year after year after year. Seeing me turn 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And I'm like, time out, Judge. I'm ready to come home. Nope. 26, 27. Time out, Judge. I'm good, brother. I got college under my belt. Nope. 28, 29. Seeing those calendars flip. Because I put myself in a position to have other people's hands on my life. When other people's hands on my life, man, that stuff didn't look right. Hold up, this don't look like something that fits me. Because it was designed by somebody else's imagination. It wasn't designed by me, it was designed by somebody else's imagination. Because somebody else's imagination was me being a prophet. And not a prophet as Jesus, a prophet as monetary salary. So I can feed their families and feed their children. And my children feed their children. They like, man, you want me to put my hands on your life? It's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you, brother. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a bed to sleep in. I'm gonna give you some heat, some electricity. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. I'm gonna give you that stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and give you some food to go ahead and eat. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. It's gonna be low quality though. It won't be high quality. It's going to tend to my budget. I bet you it won't be high quality. I tell people, man, the institutions pretty soon they're gonna be where they don't, where you don't even eat now. They gonna just start to inject you with the nutrients, with the nutrients. They're gonna be like, you know what? We done figured out a way not to feed them anything. We just gonna go ahead and call them down to the chow hall and inject them with a shot, and it's gonna give them all of the nutrients that they need. People gonna be doing 5 to 10 years, and they're gonna be like, man, I ain't ate nothing in 10 years. I haven't chewed no food in 10 years. I've been getting shot up with my nutrients because it tends to the budget. How can we spend less? You know, that's what it's all about, right? Like, how can we spend less and get more? That stuff heavy duty. It's not about can we do it. It's not about can we do what's necessary to not find ourselves in these situations. It's not even about should we do what is necessary to find ourselves in these situations, right? It's about will we do what is necessary not to find ourselves in a situation. And the thing about it is if we won't do it, then it will not be done, and we will continue to find ourselves in these situations. When I come into these facilities, when I go inside of the prisons, I'm just trying to get people the information that can shift that paradigm in a way to where they say, I'm willing to do what is necessary to not find myself in these situations no more. My children are too valuable. Matter of fact, man, I'm too valuable. My life is too valuable to allow it to be managed by somebody else's hands.
Slow it down for me. My life is too valuable.
No doubt.
Too valuable.
Placing someone else's hands.
All right.
That's the worst thing that can happen is us, man, adopt the philosophy that somebody has on us. Or adopt the idea that somebody has created based on what they think. People will sit up here and say, man, it's over for you. You done too much to be able to get right now. They'll tell you that stuff. And when you adopt that, then that's when it becomes true. But if you say, man, hold up, man, failure is the tuition to success. I'm going to be able to become successful because now I know the rest of my life is about to be the best of my life. Guaranteed. Why? Because I'm about to do what's necessary.
Got you.
People will tell you, man, like, man, everything that you done wrong, man, and everything that you not, but they ain't going to tell you what you are and the things that you are doing right. And as long as you adopt that, then guess what? You're going to continue to put out what they want you to put out so then they can continue to be in the position that they in and continue to eat off of you. Stuff is heavy work, man. Stuff is heavy work. So I know we was talking about the children's mothers, man, and we, you know, we had to do a little bit of, you know, because like I said, I don't want to waste no time, and I want to take advantage of the time that we have together, and I want to cover some ground because I want brothers to know, man, because I know that once you know, it changes everything. And my idea is that we're going to be in a whole different place, right? We're going to come from the bottom, right? We're going to come from places like this. And we're going to say, man, hey, it changed in my mind. And because it changed in my mind, everything else changed accordingly. And we're going to be on Carnival Cruiser. Boom, bam, bam. We're going to be talking about Father Factor. We're going to be talking about this stuff on Carnival Cruises and stuff like that. Celebrating, right? Yeah. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Kids running around. We having jumpy houses and stuff with our kids and stuff like that. Just enjoying life because we changed the way that we were. So I'll be excited about that. That's why I'll be wanting to give that information, man, because at the end of the day, man, I don't want to be walking this journey by myself. Like, I'm like, man, hey, everybody else come from the bottom, man, who was counted out, right? Like, everybody was counted out, man. Come on, because I was counted out too. They said I was a monster. The paper said that. The paper said that, man, this brother's a monster. They said I threw my life away. That's what they said. They said I threw my life away. At 19 years old, they said my life was done. They said it was done because of my attempted murder charge. They said it was done. They said he's so young and he threw his life away. He's a monster. It's over for him. Stick a fork in him. But they didn't have all of the answers. They didn't have all of the information. We're going to get it done, man. Straight up. That's what it's about. So, back to the topic at hand. When we looking at the positive relationship with the mother of our children, right? How do we get that established? Once we understand how important it is, how do we get that established? How do we establish a strong relationship with the mother of our children? Because remember what we said in the beginning. What comes from that positive relationship? Influence. It's a relationship without barriers, right? That means you can transfer information. Don't you want to transfer information to the mother of your children about what the goals is that you have set for your children, so then she can also adopt those goals, so those goals can be accomplished, right? That means that if your children are in if your children are in their mother's house, you want the mother to be focused on the same goals that you are focused on your children in your house. So it's more likely to get them accomplished, right? So that's why we want the positive relationship, and we also want the influence, right? That's what it's about. So if we want that, how do we get that done, fellas? Communication. How do we do that? Nothing says that you are there for a person more than just to listen. Right. So then that means that when the mother of our children is talking, what do we say? Wow. For real? Green Day? Must be exciting, right? Yeah. We go through the motions, right? This is what we can do to start to establish a strong relationship with the mother of our children. Make sure that we listen, because when you listen, nothing says that you are there for a person more than just to listen, right? We don't want to be critical, because that establishes a certain response. Resentment, right? Because it's like, man, what? Don't nobody want to be told everything that they doing wrong. Remember, build on the positive. What did we do to accomplish our goals? We encourage the behavior. Don't we build on the positive? What you focus on in life, it grows in your life. So when I see the right that my child's mother is doing, and I let her know about the right that she is doing, how is she going to feel to me, about me? Just like we would feel a certain type of way when somebody tells us about our right. It's easy to see the wrong that they are doing. And when we tell them about the wrong, what do you think that they... And it's not that we can't tell them about the wrong, but we don't want to tell them about the wrong in a naked manner, meaning that it's just wrong. Because what did we understand? It's some right in the wrong of us, and it's some wrong in the right of us. So then that means that when I'm going to address my child's mother about her wrong, I'm going to make sure that I present her first with the right. Get it? Like when my son wasn't taking using the soap, taking the shower, what did I do? I said, man, you know what, son? You are getting up on your own, before I even let him know about, man, him not using the soap and how he got to take another shower. I let him know about the right that he was doing. You getting up on your own, you self-regulating. Yeah, you doing that. I see that. You getting dressed, you making it to the bus stop. You told the truth. Remember I told him, you told the truth, all of that. So I let him know about the right before I let him know about the wrong. The same thing we got to do with the mother of our children. But sometimes when we see the wrong, we just coming straight at them about the wrong. What's the response that you get when you come at them with the wrong? You can do it yourself. What you saying? You think you better? You do it yourself.
Get defensive.
They get defensive. This is when a barrier goes up.
They need it without.
So we can tell them the wrong, but we got to come first with the right. We got to have it in our minds that we cannot present nobody with a wrong if we can't present them with a right. You don't have the right to give them their wrongs if you don't give them their right. Not only that, fellas, we got to think about them in a righteous manner. Why? Because we got to look at the right about our children's mothers. And this is where it starts at up in the head. Because if I'm not thinking about the right, then guess what? And I'm thinking about the wrong, then when I talk to them, it's going to be snappy, it's going to be critical, I'm going to be mad at them because I'm thinking about everything that they've done wrong. And I'm not thinking about the things that they've done right. If I think about everything that you've done wrong, then I'm going to be like really upset with you. And you'll be able to tell it in my talk. I don't care how you try to dress it up. It's going to come out. And I ask people, I say, hey, man, there ain't nothing right about my child's mother. I say, man, it has to be something right. If you love your children, how can you not love your child's mother? Because your children wouldn't be here without your child's mother. Your child's mother actually made the decision to go ahead and lay on that table and have your children. Because women don't have to tell you that they are pregnant. They don't have to go ahead and go the whole term. They can go ahead and get an abortion. They can do all of that stuff, right? They don't have to carry your children. That child that you love, those children that you love, that woman made the decision to allow her body to distort and have your children. How can that not warrant love? Like just that alone. Just that alone. So when people tell me like, man, it ain't nothing about her, they say, it's like, man, but not only that, but guess what? You chose her, man. You chose her. Now you telling me how crazy she is. Guess what? She was that when you chose her. But because you were selfish, and I say selfish, man, because you was just trying to get on. You was trying to have a good time. That's all that mattered. You wasn't looking at her and saying, how can I make your life better? How can what I do when I'm with you make you a better individual? I'm about your evolution, young lady. You wasn't like that. You was like, man, I'm trying to get on. I'm just trying to have a good time. Yeah, what can I get from you? I just want to get a good time, right? You didn't take time to see her multiple personalities. They didn't matter. You said that, man, hey, I'm gonna mess with all of them. Like who you today? I'm gonna mess with that. This stuff is getting freaky. I like it, right? It pleased you. You didn't think about, man, trying to help her kill those multiple personalities. You said we're going to use these multiple personalities for my benefit. Even though it wasn't taking her in the place that she wanted to be in life, you didn't care about that. You knew that she grew up in a certain type of way. She lacked confidence because she grew up in a broken household. You took advantage of that. You say, man, you don't have no confidence. I'm going to tell you what you need to do. It benefits me. This is why you didn't have those conversations. This is why you overlooked that crazy. Because it was beneficial to you in your head. But now you got to pay the price because now you have a child with this woman. And you still got to have a strong, positive relationship with this woman. It doesn't matter that she's crazy. You're going to have to do way more work than you would have had to do if she wasn't. But guess what? You made the decision to not do the work on the front end. So now you got to do the work on the back end. Work gonna be done. People think they ain't gonna get the work done. You gonna do the work. So you gonna do the work or you gonna pay the price for not doing it. You will live in hell if you don't do the work. But the only way you're gonna get that paradise is if you do the work. So now you got to do extra work. You got to be more patient. You got to be more understanding. You got to dig more into yourself so you can be able to interact with her in the right way to be able to get that relationship in a positive way. So sometimes it's gonna have to even ask for, like, after you do build on the positive and look at what's right, now you got to go ahead and ask for forgiveness. I'm sorry. I ain't have your best interest at hand when I got with you. I was running through your dang on stamps. I know. Get that steak and shrimp together. I know what you was doing, man. You was running through them stamps, man. You know she had other kids, and you was still running through them stamps, man. You was running through them yaps. You ain't care. You ain't care. You was getting simply, what's the expensive orange juice? The simply orange. Get the simply orange. Get the Welch's. Right, get the Welch's. Right? But this is where we gotta ask for forgiveness, fellas. It's just being honest and just saying, at the end of the day, when I got with you, I didn't have your best interest at hand. You know, and I understand that. I'm sorry. I wasn't really thinking about what your weaknesses are and how to help you, you know, sew up the holes in your game. I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking about, man, how I was going to be able to benefit off of the situation. I was selfish. I wasn't trying to add to you. I was taking from you. Like, just being honest. I just came to take. I was a taker. I wasn't a giver. And that's the concept. But fight to feed, you will never go hungry. Fight to eat, and you will starve. When you looking to take, man, you're going to end up starving. Like, when you get into relationships and you trying to take, right, those relationships is going to be hell. Instead of getting in a relationship and saying, man, how can I get with you and help you be the best you that you can possibly be? If both people thought like that, then guess what? The relationship would be solid. If both people said, how can I get with you so the relationship can be the best that it can be? Huh?
Mid-call.
Oh, sheesh, man. All right, fellas.
We can keep going.
Okay. So, we're going to wrap it up, though. We're going to wrap it up. Man, I'm telling you, man, don't threaten me with a good time, man. I'll be up in here, man. This stuff be good stuff, man, because it's like you don't have conversations like this with people out there because people too busy to focus on themselves. They focused on everything else. They focus on the TV. They focus on, you know, what the celebrity is doing and things like that they don't focus on themselves. How are they thinking? Where are they going? What are they trying to do? People don't really focus on that stuff, and that's why their lives be in shambles, right? Because their focus be off. So when I have the ability, the opportunity to be able to have conversation with brothers who like trying to be better, that stuff be good, because I'm trying to be better. So when I have conversations with people who also trying to be better, guess what?
It's a good time.
It's a good time, because guess what's going to happen? We going to get better. We going to get better. That's what it's all about. So that's what it's all about, fellas. So then that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that we have that strong relationship with the mother of our children. But last but not least, one thing that I want y'all to take away from this class is that you want to make sure that you take care of yourself, right? If you don't take care of yourself, there's no way that you can take care of nobody that you love. If you don't love yourself, how can you love anybody else? So you got to take care of yourself. It starts within. It's all about you. It's not about nobody else. When you take care of yourself, ultimately what it does, it teaches your children how to take care of themselves, which is necessary. That's the greatest tool that you can give your children, is how to take care of yourself. So you want to show your children how not to get reincarcerated, how not to find yourself back in situations like this after you've learned. It's not saying that failure won't happen. It's saying that once failure does, you respond to it accordingly. And you say that I'm going to do what's necessary to not have that happen again. And it's going to be some new things that happen, but it won't be the same thing.
So,
take care of yourself. Figure out what it is that you like to do that put your spirit at ease. I'm talking about that just makes you be like, man, you know what? I'm cool with this. With me, it's like, man, I like to go out on the patio on my deck. I go out there to that puppy, man, and I'm sitting in the night, and I got the music playing, I got the Bluetooth speaker, I got the music playing, and it's just me by myself. And I let that music play, and I process that a new album that came out. If it's a Nas or something like that, I process that. Jada, I process it, and I love that stuff, man. It just puts my soul at ease.
Right.
Just me in the night, right? And it's like peaceful. I make sure I incorporate that into my schedule. I watch the Browns games. I make sure I incorporate that into my schedule. I get the chicken wings, I get my drinks and stuff together, and I just go ahead and get in front of the TV when the kickoff happens, and I watch my Browns. I watch my Cavs, well, not now because they suck, right? Because I can't do that, right? I watch the Browns when they suck, but I can't have another team to watch when they suck. I can't go through all of that, right?
We're used to them sucking anymore.
Right. So, but these are things that I like to do, fellas, but I intentionally incorporate that into my schedule, because if you don't incorporate it into your schedule, it will not. Your children won't incorporate it into your schedule because they have other things for you to do. Let's go to Chuck E. Cheese. Let's go ahead and play. My children want to always play. And it's like, man, no, hold up. I need time to do what I do to put my soul at ease. So I'll be a better father to be able to be interacted with.
Right.
This is key. Take care of yourself, fellas. That's the greatest responsibility of all, is you. I read, I do things, I build my mind up, because why? Because I understand, man, I got to. That's taking care of me. My children will be asking me questions. I'll be like, don't ask me questions right now, because I'm listening to my YouTube, I'm reading my book. I need this to be able to be who I need to be for you. That's what it is, fellas. So we take care of ourselves, man, we'll be golden, man. We ain't gonna end back up in these places.
No, sir.
Right?
Right, sir. Nope.
We ain't gonna end up back up in these places, right? This is it. It's something that changed this time.
Yeah.
I don't care what happened before. It doesn't matter what happened before now. But right now, we different. Because our minds are different. It's a shift in our minds that say, this is not for me. It's a messaging that happened right now that let me know that this doesn't match me no more. Right? Like, it's a messaging that didn't happen. I don't care if I ain't heard it all the way before here, but right now, this ain't for me. My children are too valuable. I'm too valuable. That's what it is, man. So we rocking and rolling, fellas, man. We got it in.
Yes, sir.
We got it in. Where did they go to? The main call?
Main call.
Okay. Well, I don't know if we'll wait real quick for them to come in so then we can go ahead. We can get
mine
them.
real quick.
Okay. I'm here.
They still waiting.
All right. But yeah, fellas, man, we got it in though, man.
Yeah, I
Like,
appreciate you, man.
this was a good class, man. Straight up, man.
This is. I'm gonna put this in my couple pages and put it in my playbook.
No
man.
doubt, man.
I'm telling you,
Ain't
man.
no doubt, man.
My kid's mother is crazy. Well, she's 29, and she was 28 at the time, or something like that. I was 17, and I don't get in trouble like that. I don't even know really why I'm here.
Right.
I mean, I smoke weed and stuff, but that's all about all about I do. But I honestly think this is an opportunity to get me off probation, and I'll get my fines paid off and stuff. Because the reason why I got this felony was because somebody else. I was in the car with them, but the prosecutor charged me with possession of heroin. But I didn't have no heroin on me. I never messed with that stuff. That stuff killed my mom.
Right.
I seen my mom going through, withdrawals,
No
to
doubt.
hospitals at night and stuff like that. And I was just young, and I told myself, I never mess with that. I've always stuck to weed because, smoking weed, I mean, it really ain't that bad. Like, I don't, think it's that bad. But
Right.
as like broader and stuff, I actually stopped smoking like that.
Right.
Like smoke
Right.
once in a while. And I mean, hey, I'm here. I'm doing this, it's 90 days. Well, it's under 90 days now, but this class helped me. I mean, I gotta still take the DNA test for my child, but the child looks just like me and stuff.
Right.
And I'm having this other kid, actually my other daughter. Actually, I'm gonna show you something. Hold on.
Oh, let me see. Absolutely, man.
Oh, jeez.
I have a problem with being their friend. You know what I'm saying? I want to be more their daddy than a friend. People fall in their little trap like we real cool or whatever. I just want it's a thin line, man.
Right.
Well,
and
friend,
So that's what somebody did for me. It looks exactly the same.
oh wow. Thanks, no, man. Hey, people be talented in the mug, man.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's the child that's on the way?
yeah.
Good stuff, man.
Well, I know, like, okay, so I really don't like calling my baby mom because I ain't got the DNA test. But she said, she never, did me wrong. Like, but I mean, the child looks just like me and stuff. But sometimes I do got my doubts because the situation I was in,
Right.
and the person we was living with,
Right.
he was kind of, touchy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, that's why I went to child support for myself because the mother wouldn't contact me. I'd contact her. Asking like, hey, like, so when am I going to see my daughter? I even tried contact her other baby dad. He ignored me. Didn't even read my message on Facebook. Didn't even, texted his sister, and she just blocked me. Read the message, blocked me.
Wow.
So I'm just thinking like, and the messed up thing is, our daughter's name was supposed to be my mom's name, and that's what she got it on her Facebook as. It's Liza. That's my mom's name.
Right.
Honestly, that's messed up. Like if she's lying to me, about this not being my daughter. But if it ain't, I'm gonna be hurt. But then again, that's in the past. I'm not about to.
Right.
But,
Right.
hey, this child right here, I know this child for sure lying.
No doubt, man. Ain't no doubt. That's
I'm
good
about to get my
stuff.
life together because, like, ever since I was 17 with her, that's what I wanted to start as a family.
Right.
Because
Right.
ever since I was young, 12, well, that's when my mom passed away, I was on probation
Right.
until I was 18. I actually spent my 18th birthday in juvie. Got off probation, then I went back to her, and was hanging out with a couple friends. Well, actually, my friend and his girlfriend. That's what caught me the felony. What I'm in here for, and went back to her, and her and the roommate actually called the cops on me for taking the car, which I was allowed to. I had permission, but I ain't got
Right.
proof.
Right.
They took me to jail, and she just ran off. They haven't heard from her since probably almost a year and a half ago. 2 years.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm getting this stuff straight, get out of here, get a job. His daughter is due Renee Winter. W-Y-N-T. W-Y-T. Honestly, I can't even think right now, bro.
That's good stuff, though,
W-Y-N-T-E-R.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that's spelled
okay.
with the I.
Oh, okay. Instead of the I, it's spelled with a Y. Okay.
And my girlfriend right now, she's 17.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just wanted to start a family because that keep me out of trouble. I ain't never had my dad's actually penitentiary for 6 years.
For real?
I don't know if you know my dad. Kevin died.
I don't know. I can't. I be doing faces, man. Which joint is he in?
Might not Kentucky.
Oh, in Kentucky?
He's in the feds.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't tapped out there yet.
Or he firebomb municipal court.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he was. So I ain't, like, and Kyle Smith, so Kyle always said, you want to be just like your father and stuff.
Right.
They actually beat me up when I was like young.
Wow.
My friend made a false call saying somebody was shooting around in the neighborhood. And it was on my phone. Well, they put this in the back of the cop car, beat us all up. And he said, you want to be just like your father? Like, I'm never going to go in my father's footsteps because he was never here. Just because I know what he's done doesn't mean I'm a father.
That stuff is no
following
joke.
his
Right.
footsteps.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna follow my own footsteps because I had to teach myself.
Right.
And, I'm still messing up here and there. Like the assault charge I caught, it wasn't for a good reason, but then again, I felt like it was the same dude that got me I was in his car. If I wasn't in his car, then I wouldn't have caught that charge.
Right.
But he even said, "Oh, my dude would take the charge for me." No, I never said that.
Right.
Like that's why I stopped taking it. People I was taking it before because actually two of them was in prison. One's getting out. Or if he's out now, but yeah, I'm staying out the way. I'm trying to be a father.
No doubt. Absolutely.
That's the best thing I want to do, and that's the best thing I know I'm going to be good at doing.
That's the good thing, yeah.
Press charges, doing,
No doubt.
And like this place.
I don't know, funny.
I mean, I don't like this place, but I mean, better than county.
No doubt, man. Right, absolutely,
prison.
man. Better than prison. Absolutely right, man. So just and taking advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. Just take advantage of this time.
Right.
And that's with just the continuous development of yourself. Like, it's no work that you should do more than on yourself. That's the greatest work to be done is on yourself.
Right.
You don't work on nothing. I'm telling y'all, brothers, don't work on nothing harder than you work on yourself. Because if you work on yourself hard enough, guess what? All of the stuff that you want in life is going to come anyway.
Exactly.
Because you have become the person. It's not about what you got or where you get to. It's about who you become.
Exactly.
With whatever you're doing, whoever you are around, you got to ask yourself, who am I becoming when I'm around this individual? Who am I becoming when I'm in this conversation? Who am I becoming when I'm reading this book? Who am I becoming when I'm working this job, right? Who am I becoming? Because that's the only thing that really matters. Who are you becoming? Who are you becoming? That's got to be the focus all the time. So when we can start to say, man, I'm a man of integrity, man, I'm a man of character, commitment, courage, right? That's how courage is not the absence of fear. It's the triumph over it. A lot of times people thinking that courage is, you not scared. No, courage, because this stuff is going to be scary to go ahead and start to adopt a whole new way of thinking, to abandon what you've known all of your life, right? It's going to be scary to go out there and say, man, you know what? I'm thinking in a whole different way and I'm standing on this stuff, right? You might be thinking, man, people going to think I'm soft. People going to think I done changed up. It's like, nope, it's scary. But courage is not the absence of fear, man. It's the triumph over it. Hey, can you tell all the brothers, are they still in line?
You are. I want to make sure you heard.
Yeah, tell Travis, come on in, man.
It's crazy. You touched on something that my oldest son's mother. She wants to move to Virginia because her lease is up at her place in May, and she told me this yesterday, and I pretty much, I thought about it. I slept on it. And today when I talked to her, I literally want to ask her, how does my son feel about that? If he doesn't have an opinion, ask him what's his opinion.
Right. Absolutely. Instead of just doing stuff.
This is what it is, not
right.
How he feels about it. Just step down.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about, brother. Absolutely, man.
It's crazy.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
And we don't even think about the stuff, all of the stuff that we talked about, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And we don't think about it until we talk about it, right? And then when we talk about it, now it puts us in a position to become aware of what we are actually doing in our parenting. And that's what puts us in a different place, right? Because it's like, man, dang, only thing I got to do is just ask them, like, give my children a voice? Like, that's crazy. I can do that. Like, that's easy enough to do, right? Like, no doubt, man. You know? Like, oh, man, to tell my children about their negative, I just look at the right that they did too. Oh, I can do that, right?
Sure.
But how easy is it just to go ahead and just go at them with the negative, just telling them what the wrong, because that's the only thing that's in front of you at that time is the wrong. So you just want to go ahead and highlight the wrong. And it's difficult in your mind to go ahead and, you don't even think about it. You don't even think about anything that happened that's right because you're so upset about the wrong.
Right.
So the only thing that you're talking about is the wrong.
Right.
But it's not saying that we don't have to, overlook the wrong. It's just saying that, man, just also acknowledge the good. Like, if it's there, it's there. It's not saying that you're trying to make up good. It's like it's good that's there. What's wrong with just acknowledging the good that's there before I let them know about the wrong that's there? That's crazy, right?
Sure.
All right, this is the graduation. William Owens. Hold on.
I don't know who William Owens is.
I don't know what that is.
Nathaniel James.
Thank you, brother.
No doubt, brother. Appreciate you, man. So you got your certificate right here, man, and then you got your book, the Prison Without Bars. It starts within. This is my first published book, and this is my second book, The Walking Logo, Taking Back My Life. And here, how to establish credit, how to buy houses and everything. Like, all of that stuff is in this one right here, man. So it's a how-to, man. It's the blueprint, man. My mind is in the book. So y'all gonna hear a lot of things that I said, you're gonna hear it in the book, right? Because this is coming from me. So that's me. So appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely, man.
God bless you.
Michael Workman. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate having you, man.
Thank you for coming, man.
Absolutely, man. There go your books, man. Signed copies of the book.
What's up, bro?
Gerard Miles. Appreciate you, brother.
Man.
No doubt, man. You've been a benefit, man, doing the notes and everything, man. You know what I'm saying? There go your books,
Thanks,
man.
man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Travis Gibson. Appreciate you, brother. Absolutely, man.
It's on my wall.
Absolutely,
Yes.
no doubt,
In the
man.
frame.
No, absolutely. Let's put them puppies in the frame. You know what I'm right? Let's put them puppies in the frame, man. We got through it, man. Robert Pipes, the third. Appreciate you, brother. You got through it, man. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
No doubt, man.
Good, man.
Dakota. Oh, where'd Dakota
He's in
go?
line.
Oh, okay.
You come get in the hall.
Kim Antrim. Kaya. Good having you, man. No doubt, man. Hey, you said, man, I guess I'll go ahead and try it out, man. I seen him in the day room. I said, brother, come on, man. You got kids, don't you? He's like, man, yeah, man, I'm cool, man. But I guess I'll try it out. I'll give it a shot. And it's been good, man, ever since, man. Appreciate you, man.
No doubt.
Dakota died. No doubt. Appreciate you, brother. Absolutely, man. Congratulations, man. Here go your books, man. Prison Without Bars, Starts Within. And then The Walking Logo, Taking Back My Life, Volume 2, man. No doubt, man.
Oh, yeah.
Again, man. Appreciate you, brother. No doubt, man.
That is nice.
That's what we doing, man. That's what we doing, man. So we good, man. I appreciate y'all, brother. No doubt, man. Again, man. Absolutely, man. No doubt. No doubt, bro. Hey, y'all got my no doubt, because we continue to build, man, and understand that, man. I post all of this stuff on YouTube, so when you need a refresher, like just go and just look at the stuff again, right? Because we want to continue to dive into this stuff. We want this conversation to continue because this is important to us, man. Being fathers, man. So just being men that we need to be. right? Like we valuable, man. So we should have valuable things in our lives, man. Like we are valuable, so we should have valuable things in our life, right?
Yes,
sir.
Anything that's not valuable is unacceptable for us.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how we moving now, man. You know, that's how we moving. I appreciate y'all, brothers, man. No doubt, man.
Yes.
All right, brothers. I see y'all, man. No doubt, absolutely. Again, man. No doubt, man. Absolutely, man.
Thanks, Carlos.
Okay, appreciate you, brother.
Have a good day.
No doubt, you too, man.
Safe trip on the way home.
Keep on applying the stuff, man, and your life gonna be what it need to be, man. No doubt. There it is.
Have a great day.
All right, you too, bro.
Safe trip on the way home.
All right, thanks, brother.